When 50 pounds of solid rock hits a wooden barricade at 150 miles an hour, the structure doesn't break, it detonates. For centuries, if a city could afford to build thick limestone walls, its citizens were largely immune to direct assault. Human muscle, spears, and standard arrows simply bounce off solid rock. Because armies couldn't punch through these defenses, taking a fortified city usually meant parking outside the gates and waiting. Attackers had to starve the population out, a grueling process that often stretched into months or even years. But as the Roman Republic expanded into a massive empire, generals didn't have years to sit in the dirt. They needed a machine that could smash stone and keep the war moving. Enter the onager. This was Rome's heavy artillery, a precise, wall-shattering weapon capable of sniping structural weak points from a distance. Most people picture medieval catapults throwing rocks using a heavy dropping counterweight, or tension from bending wood like a giant bow. The Romans used something completely different: torsion, the mechanical power of twisting. By coiling material until it was desperate to unwind, this mechanism could hurl a 50-pound projectile over 400 yards. That's the length of 4 football fields, achieved nearly 1,500 years before gunpowder hit the battlefield. If you look at the base of the machine, there are no metal springs or heavy stones. The engine block is entirely biological. The power comes from thick, tightly wound bundles of rope, and these ropes were woven specifically from animal sinew and human hair. Standard ropes made of hemp or flax are strong, but under extreme torsion, plant fibers snap. Animal sinew and human hair possess incredible tensile strength and extreme elasticity. They can stretch and twist dramatically without breaking. When woven together and twisted, these organic strands effectively act as a biological battery, capable of storing thousands of pounds of kinetic energy. To charge that battery, Roman soldiers manually cranked massive wooden winches on either side, throwing their entire body weight against the grinding gears. Every click of the winch twists those biological ropes tighter and tighter, converting human muscle power directly into immense stored potential energy. When the target is sighted, the crew strikes the trigger mechanism, knocking the retaining pin free and releasing all that tension at once. The massive wooden throwing arm snaps forward, accelerating the payload in a terrifying arc. It is a brutal equation: weeks of weaving biological fibers, minutes of exhausting human labor, all concentrated into a fraction of a second of kinetic output. But the arm can't just swing freely. To launch the boulder forward, the throwing arm has to be stopped abruptly by slamming into a heavily padded wooden crossbar. When the arm strikes that crossbar, it creates a massive transfer of kinetic energy. The force travels straight down into the chassis, leveraging the entire back half of the machine off the ground. Because this violent, upward bucking motion looked exactly like a donkey kicking its hind legs, Roman soldiers named the machine the onager, the Latin word for wild ass. Launching a rock is simple. The true engineering genius was building a wooden frame capable of surviving that catastrophic recoil, shot after shot, without tearing itself apart. Downrange, that 50-pound projectile arrives with enough velocity to shatter defensive fortifications. Looking at these ruins, you can see the massive scale of the limestone blocks the Romans were up against. We are talking about walls stacked several feet thick, designed to withstand centuries of punishment. While a single onager could crack a solid stone wall in an afternoon, a battery of 10 machines firing in sequence could systematically erase a city's defenses before lunch. This inverted the logic of warfare. Hiding behind a thick stone wall was no longer a guarantee of survival. The advantage had permanently flipped from the defender to the attacker. By mastering the equal and opposite reactions of violent recoil, the Romans weaponized advanced physics centuries before the scientific revolution even had a name for it. The blueprints for large-scale artillery were written 2,000 years ago, using twisted hair and wooden gears. What other technical achievements are hidden in the ruins of the past? To join us as we investigate the lost data of human history, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for our next report.